Welcome to the 8-Bit Cat Show, a place where friends geek out over the nerdy things we love. As always, I'm your host, Stephanie Katz, and with us tonight is Zach.
Hi.
Peter.
Hi.
And Tom.
What's up, nerds?
Sounds about right.
What's up, my nerdos? Also, where we geek oot? I didn't
Yeah,
realize
I
you
caught
geek
that
oot.
too.
When did you become Canadian?
We geek oot
I'm not
about
dating a
the-
Canadian. I'm sorry.
about the new-
That sounded like
things
French
you know.
Canadian too. I don't know.
It's a
I'm not
French
into
Canadian.
it. I don't know.
Well, we are going to start off our show with our new segment, Clouder Club. It's like a book club, but with stuff we watch.
So it's a watch club.
It's a watch
Club.
Well, someday it might be a book.
Yeah.
True.
If we can
Could be a book
convince
club.
Maybe.
Porn stash over here to read.
Shut up, flannel guy.
So we watched Star Trek Lower Decks episodes 1 through 4. Episode 1 was basically our intro, backstory for the characters. Episode 2 was very, find what you like, be true to yourself type episode. Episode 3 was very much like we've overworked these people, now kind of let's find a way to not do that. And then episode 4 was the typical, I'm going to trick this person to do this thing that I want, but they're on to me, so now I'm going to just kind of go along with it, and then they end up having to work together to fix the things.
So it's like some weird, backwards office star-based Star Trek thing. I'm just watching
It-
a documentary
To
almost.
me, it kind of reminded me, it was like a little Family Guy, a little Rick and Morty. There was a lot of OG clapbacks. In at least once an episode, they were like, don't you remember when we did the Spock or something? I don't even remember the exact line.
Did the Spock. Everybody do the Spock.
I did really enjoy
That's about all you got, yeah?
I did really enjoy Chief O'Brien.
Oh.
He is literally a god in this show because they're like, he's the greatest person to ever do anything in Starfleet. Fuck all those high-ranking officers. Chief O'Brien. That's
O'Brien.
my boy. That's my boy. He was basically Lower Decks. We're cool.
Yeah. So going backwards, so we had episode 1, like I said, was our intro. So you've got the main characters are basically the people on the lower decks of the ship. So,
Is that what they called it then?
They're the not bridge crew, basically.
yeah, the not bridge crew. It's your everyday people that do the menial tasks.
It's the red shirts.
Mechanics, chefs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you had a medic. There was a guy that worked in engineering. You have Mariner
There's only
who.
one guy?
You have a couple command staff people
So there's
Oh, okay.
4 main people in this crew that you follow around.
I would say they're probably the command staff of the
So
groups.
for the 4, it's they're all lower deck, low level.
Yeah, they're
they're the-
basically analogs of what you would get from your original bridge crews. They're your number 1, your number 2, you got your captain, your number 2, your helmsman or security guy, and your engineer / medical guy. So you got your basic tropes. You got your Kirk, you got your Bones, you got your Spock, and you got your if you're doing that one, it would be McCoy. Not but that is Bones.
Yeah. It's
And then I guess Worf. No, it's Worf is New Next Generation. What am I doing here? I guess
Uhura?
I guess Uhura.
Uhura. Yeah, I guess you'd have an Uhura. As that one would be. If you do it translates better to Next Generation because they're a Next Generation crew.
Yeah.
They're that style. So you've got your Picard, you've got your
Riker,
and then you've got Worf and
Crusher.
Beverly Crusher, not Wesley Crusher. Thank God.
So yeah, the
Actually, it's more like a Geordie than you do have in this one. It's more Geordie LaForge.
yeah.
than
So
it is
your
Worf.
main guy, what's his name?
Picard.
Bromere?
Boimler?
Boimler.
Yeah,
Boimler.
Brad Boimler.
Boimler.
I'm like Bromere. That's not even the right franchise.
Boiler.
He's you're super duper nerd. Yes, I love doing work. Work is great. Work is fantastic. I'm going to do all of these things. I'm going to do it right. And, I'm going to move up the ranks. Da 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 da. And then you have Mariner who, used to be upper command and has been demoted because she's like, fuck this shit. Starfleet's dumb. This is fucking stupid. They have all these rules and it's just dumb. fuck this noise. So she's always like stealing contraband and like making fun of everyone. Your Beverly Crusher character, what's her name?
Oh my god, I forgot.
I'm blanking really hard.
Boimler
and Mariner are kind of the best characters, so I kind of forget about the other two.
She's like she's a type of alien. I'm not sure what exactly she is.
She's blue.
I've watched like well into the second season now, and I can't think of the name.
Can't think of her name, can you?
But yeah, so she's like, she comes aboard and she's supposed to be working like on, you know, in the sick bay, and she's like, reporting for duty, you know, I'm here, woo, this is awesome, and she just gets like really excited about more of the like medic and spacey stuff as opposed to everything in general. And then you've got your Jordy character who he actually does have like a cyborg enhancement thing like on his face. So like there are times where he kind of goes, I'd even say it's between like he more of like a Data. So he's part like, yeah, no, I'm a normal dude, like Jordy. And then he has like the cyborg like, oh, I'm Data, like I don't always have emotion.
Well, the cybernetic enhancement has specifically a Vulcan one, so that's why you get those moments of like complete emotionlessness.
Well, you got her. She's Ensign Devana Tendi. Devana Tendi, and then Ensign Samanthan goes by Sam, but
Samanthan.
Samanthan. Samanthan Rutherford.
Yeah. Realistically, they all go by their last names.
Rutherford.
Yeah, so it's Rutherford.
So it's Rutherford.
Tendi,
Rutherford, Tendi, Boimler, and Mariner.
Yeah.
So a man then.
Yeah,
it's a dude.
You got 2 girls, 2 guys. Boimler and Sam are dudes, and then Tendi and Mariner are girls.
That's a good play on words. Samanthan.
Samantha.
So a man then.
Yes, so he's a man.
So a man then.
So this first episode, like the big arc for it was like they were, because the whole thing with their ship is they're not the first contact ship, they're the second contact ship. So they usually are going back to like double check and make sure everything is cool. Like, oh hey, yeah, since now that we made contact, we need you to sign this treaty. So on this particular mission, the captain calls Boimler in, and she's like, hey, Boimler.
There's an L.
Samantha.
And she's like, hey, I need you to watch Mariner. Like, you keep an eye on her. If anything goes awry, I need you to report back to me. And this is going to help you in your career. So he's like,
like, for sure, I'm going to do that.
I'm going to do that.
I'm going to suck up like nobody's business. My nose is all the way brown.
And so, like, as they're beaming down, the other crew is, like, beaming back up. And turns out that something bit. It was, like, the actual second in command.
The Commander Jack Ransom.
And it releases this rage virus. So they kind of turn into...
No, it's definitely zombies.
There's sci-fi
It's
zombies.
100% zombies.
Yeah.
But not like slow, like zombies.
No, this is 28 days later, rage virus zombies.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So shit is going awry up on the ship. Meanwhile, Mariner's getting herself into... She's like, I don't care what you people are fucking doing. I'm going off on my own thing. And Boimler's like, oh, I gotta follow her. Basically ends up where, you know, they end up taking care of each other and rescue each other out of different situations. So now she's like, oh man, you're really cool. Like, we're going to be friends now. So
and he's like, I don't think I really want to be friends with you. You just got, whatever we did here was not fun for me. Not fun for me at all.
So when they get back up to the ship and it's like, oh fuck, a rage virus is breaking out. They've got to work together. It's the 4 main people, the captain and the
doctor.
The doctor who's a cat. Do love that.
She's a cat person, yes.
And they're like, oh, how are we gonna
Dr.
like
Ta'ana.
Figure this out? And Boimler is like covered in this slimy goo from the...
How did he get covered in slimy goo?
He got sucked down by like a giant alien spider thingy.
Who doesn't eat people. He just like wanted to suck on him.
Just wants to gum on him.
Gum on him. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
So he's covered in this slimy stuff, which turns out to be the cure for the rage virus. Yeah. And what really solidifies Boimler and Mariner's friendship is the captain's like, yes, and due to my discovery, we were able to Boimler's like, so I get nothing.
Yeah,
just fuck me.
She definitely goes like, thanks to me and my senior command staff, everything is great. Fuck you. Goodbye. Like, and like even afterwards, like she does that on the official captain's log, and like even afterwards when she's just talking to him, she goes, "Yeah, I can't believe that we were able to pull that off without any help from anybody else."
So
and he's
like,
and then she goes, "Oh yeah, so did Mariner do anything?" And he goes, "Nope, didn't see nothing." Even though I watched her do a lot of shit that would definitely got us both kicked out if I talked about it. But nope, didn't see nothing. Yeah, crazy. It was a pretty normal mission. And she's like, "How'd you get covered in goo?" Nope, I don't even remember. Normal mission stuff.
Blacked out during the whole thing.
Yeah. Super normal mission stuff. Yep, all good. So yeah, that one was kind of great. His turn a little bit that he's like, "Yeah, I'm still gonna be like, I'm a brown nosing." Yeah. He's a Wesley Crusher type. He 100% like absolutely Wesley Crusher type.
He just loves being in Starfleet. That's all it is.
He's like, "Oh, I'll do whatever it takes to be in Starfleet." But he's like, there was finally that little moment, and he goes, "Yeah, maybe I don't have to do it all the time."
Yeah.
Sounds like a very dickish captain.
She's kind of a bitch.
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
She's married to an admiral, though, so she gets to do whatever she wants.
I guess it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's perks. Perks of the job.
So then episode 2 brings us to Boimler gets tasked with, he has to bring this Klingon admiral, what is he?
A Klingon
war hero, basically. Is what
yeah, like, and so he gets tasked with delivering him from their ship, which is the
Cerritos.
The Cerritos.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Down to the down to the Federation embassy on this particular planet. And he's like super excited about it. He's like, "Yeah, I've been brushing up on my Klingon. Like, this is gonna be awesome."
He wears his next generation dress uniform, which is literally a fucking dress.
And,
it's hilarious.
And Mariner's like, "I'm going to get myself assigned to this." So when he goes to the away ship, because he's like, going to do his checks and everything, make sure everything's good, he walks in. She is fucking blasted and has got like shit all over the console. And he's like, what are you doing here? Like, this is my mission. She's like, "Nah, man, read the thing." And she's like, "How'd you get transferred? What? Why are you in charge? I was supposed to be in charge of this." And like starts freaking out. And he's like, "Whatever, just let me do all the talking. I've been studying Klingon. I know what's going on." So the Klingon guy comes and he tries to do the thing and looks, and Klingon's like, and Mariner's like, "I got this. Hey, man!" And like starts beating the shit out of him. And apparently it's because they've known each other. So then he gets even more upset because he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Kidding me right now? You guys know each other? This is fucking bullshit." So
much anger.
So he was pretty angry. Am I wrong? He's mad.
He was, for the most part, during that episode. While at first he is angry, he is mostly disheartened.
He's just mostly frustrated.
Yeah, that's the beginning part. So then the two of them, Mariner and the Klingon, get totally fucking blasted, right? And they finally land, and the Klingon dude is fucking passed out. And Mariner's like, "Oh, let's go, like, wander around." And he's like, "No, we have to, like, go deliver this, like, guy, right?" Turn around. He's taking off with the ship. Boimler's like, "Fuck! What the fuck?" So then they've got to, like, track their ship down, right? And so every time they go up to talk to, like, a store, like, a shopkeeper or, like, a bartender, like, he's like, "I got this." And it just goes totally like wrong off the wall for him, and she steps in and she's like, "No, this is how it is, this is what we're gonna do," and like saves the moment. So he does, he's kind of like, "Why am I even in Starfleet? Like, I have all this knowledge and I know nothing. Like, what I do, it doesn't even matter. Like, nothing matters." So it's, like, he's feeling real down and out about himself, and so she comes up with a way to show him that, this is really what you want and you are being true to yourself. It's just that I have a lot of experience. Like, I've been out in the field. I've seen things. Like, there's a reason I got demoted, which you don't find out until episode 3. But so, she's friends with a Ferengi, and gets him to come and kind of be like, "Oh yes, come with me, come down."
Like really super over the top Ferengi kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of great.
And she's like, "Oh yeah, no, he seems like a cool guy. Let's go." And he's like, "No, Mariner, are you stupid? That's a Ferengi. They are known to be distrustful."
She goes, "No, this guy seems cool. Yeah, no, we're cool. Yeah."
And basically,
he gets to save the day.
And then they end up finding the ship. He's passed out, and the Klingon. And so they're like, "Oh fuck, what do we do?" And then it's like, "Oh shit, we got to get back to the ship. Like we're being shit. What do we do? Would it be bad if we just left him at the just leave him at the steps?" So they drag his ass out, throw him at the door, basically ring the doorbell and run away type thing.
Because he's supposed to be giving like a speech, a piece at a peace summit, and so they just kind of like throw him down. The people are like, and they just come out. And they're like, "We finally found him. He's getting wasted. He's drunk again. All right." We've got like 5 minutes to sober him up before this goddamn speech he's got to make, and they get away with it scot-free because they're like, oh no, they just dropped him off at the time and he just wandered off and got drunk. Oh, they're all good, so they get away with it scot-free, and it's kind of fantastic.
Yeah, and then you get back on the ship, and she's like, oh, you're not gonna tell anybody about like my misstep, are you? And he's like, no, I got your back. And then they're at like the bar, and he's like, oh man, and then Mariner. This girl, she was like, let's go hang out with this Ferengi. Like, come on, man. And she's like, whatever, guys. I'm just going to leave. But you see, like, the look back smirk, like...
She's like, yeah, good. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then she calls her Ferengi...
She didn't give a shit. That's all she
then she calls her Ferengi friend. He's got, like, a monocle on now. And he's like, oh, did I do everything properly? Did you think I acted quite well? Do you think you got the point across that I was... Ooh, evil Ferengi. Okay,
she's like, no, that was perfect, man. Like, thanks for helping me out.
He's like, it wasn't over the top, was it? And he goes, I don't think he almost noticed that.
Yeah, he probably didn't notice.
No,
I mean, it seems like that was like kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, so you have all this schooling? How much money did you spend? You spent hundreds and thousands of dollars? Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so great. So I went to this tech school, and it got me just far. I'm perfectly fine because I have all this experience now. How much money did you spend? Right.
Basically that.
Yes.
Pretty much.
And that brings us to episode 3.
I'm in debt.
And so basically there's like 2 parts to this. So one part is you have Boimler on the ship, and they're kind of going with Tendi and kind of showing her some of the routine stuff that they do and like kind of what parts of her job are and everything. And they finish up and they're like, all right, buffer time. She's like, what's buffer time? Don't we have another job to do? And they're like, no. So what you do is you're basically like, oh, hey, this job is going to take 3 hours, even though you know it's only going to take maybe an hour. And then that gives you 2 hours of downtime. So let's drink some margaritas. So then it's like...
Cushion time.
Yeah.
No, it's called buffer time.
Buffer time.
Yeah,
sorry,
they call it buffer time.
Yeah.
So then they're kind of getting her into doing like the buffer time stuff, and then Boimler gets like a bunch of stuff done real quick, and the captain is like, "Oh, how'd you get this done so quick?" And he's like, "Oh, I cut out buffer time." And he's like, "Oh, fuck." She's like, "What is buffer time?" And she basically gets him to tell what buffer time is. And she decides the way she's going to fix that is that she is going to mandate the time that it should take you to get tasks done.
Well, no, not even her. Starfleet will now dictate, because the command crew is also under the subject of these dictations of this time clock. They all got all their data pads, and it's like, you have 30 minutes to complete the next text. Yeah. And you are now 9 hours behind schedule.
Yeah.
Because it's blatantly not accounting for travel time as well.
So the whole crew is like freaking out, and in the meantime, they have to send an away team to this planet to drop off some crystal and get some like thing signed.
It's a diplomatic mission.
Yeah, diplomatic mission.
Another second contact, basically.
Before we continue, so you're just telling me this girl's a fucking narc?
Boimler.
He didn't do it on purpose.
Boimler's a guy, and he did it on accident.
So it wasn't so much that the captain is like, oh, hey, how did you get your stuff done so quickly? They go into an elevator together. He's just trying to suck up to the captain and like talk to her.
Yeah, he's like, I did this, skip buffer time, did this. Yeah. And then she goes, wait, what was that buffer time part?
Buffer time, and she kind of like locks down the elevator kind of thing.
Yeah, she like command override. So... Because it's like the second time she's overheard it, because somebody said something like, oh man, time for some buffer time. And she's like, did I hear that? What is buffer time? Okay, whatever.
And they like run away.
Then she gets in the elevator and he goes, did this, skip buffer time, did this. And she goes, what in the absolute fuck is buffer time?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so my career's about to end unless I tell her this right now. So buffer time is the time that we add into there so that we can have some buffer. Yeah. She goes, I don't like that.
But I mean, it sounds like you guys said, episode 3 was just about them getting overworked, right?
Well, it ends up being
what ends up happening is because they're all so overworked and like you can tell like they're messing up here and there, and the big mess up comes when they get down to this planet, they're supposed to present the crystal of whatever the fuck, because they're like a crystal planet and they're obsessed with crystals.
A peace crystal that they were originally given on first contact that then shows back, that they bring back and shows that they're friendly.
Right.
Oh, hi, here's your kyber crystal.
Basically.
But someone accidentally packed Groot in the case.
Yeah, they packed the wooden fertility idol of the hated planet next door that these people are like, they're mortal enemies.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yes.
So they all freak out and start attacking the away crew, and the away crew ends up getting captured, and so it's Mariner and the
Ransom.
Commander Jack Ransom.
In the little thing, and
really
the leader of this faction comes down, and they're like,
the voice
all right,
actor that does him too. He's amazing.
So you one of you, you're gonna have to decide which one of you is gonna fight like our ultimate champion, which is like, you know, the big like jacked up fucking 10-foot tall monster dude. If you win,
do you remember the Fry Cook games from SpongeBob?
Yes.
The guy that Patrick rides in on, that's who they have to fight.
So yeah, and then it's like if you win, then we let you all go, no harm, no foul. But if you lose, we're gonna crush your team with this stone and then kill all of you anyway.
Gosh, they had a great name for it. Crap, I gotta look that up.
It was something geode of
death
or something.
It wasn't even geode of death. It was a oh god, what was it?
I think it was simpler actually.
Yeah, no, it was freaking hilarious. It was.
Are you pulling up the episode or something?
Yeah, I gotta find it because it was honestly really well. It was stupid but great.
So well, he's looking that up. So like that, and so then Mariner and Ransom are fighting over who's gonna fight the dude, and the leader guy's like, you know, one of you is about to what?
They're fighting over who gets to be murdered.
Yeah. They're fighting over who gets to die.
She's like, this scar was from when I fought this thing, and this scar is from this other. What scars do you have? You just want to sit here and try and be diplomatic, and these people don't understand diplomacy. We gotta fucking kick some ass. And he ends up winning the fight because when he gets the spear, he stabs her in the foot.
Sword.
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad. Stabs her in the foot, so now she can't like fight.
That's hilarious.
And then they get in the Coliseum, and he like rips his thing off, and suddenly becomes like super jacked, and it's like, I'm gonna fucking kick some ass, and then she's sitting there like, oh, this is kind of hot.
She's like, shit, this is kind of hot. What happened?
I'm having feelings I shouldn't have.
It's hilarious.
Go ahead, Peter.
It's very clearly a throwaway gag. It's not like a main focus of the thing.
No, it's not. It was definitely her
I
just
thought
going.
it was funny.
Yeah, it was definitely her just going, oh, I don't think this is. Ooh, okay. All right, that's pretty hot.
That's pretty much.
Because they have a callback later because she does something stupid too, and he goes, huh.
So while all that is going on, these people send like teams up to the ship to attack the ship, and the captain gets on, and she's like, even though we're being attacked, you are still expected to get all your tasks done. This is multitasking, people. So everyone really is like, dumb. I don't fucking whatever. You fine, do graffiti all over the place. I don't fucking care. I gotta get the shit done. Yeah. And Pointler's walking around like,
stupid.
This is really awesome. What, we're getting attacked? What's going on? Why is everyone like freaking out?
He's the only one that's actually on time with all of his tasks.
Oh yeah, he was ahead.
Yeah, he's like ahead on his tasks. He's like, ooh, got a little break now. Oh, I guess I probably should stop this invasion of this ship real quick.
So he goes up to the bridge, and like everyone is pretty much passed out except the captain, who's trying to run like 5 different stations. And he's basically the one that kind of talks her down, and because her whole thing is she doesn't want to look like a fool. She thinks that they're the laughing stock of Starfleet, and that's why she's got to get. That's why she's got to do all this. And he's like, look, you're the best captain ever, and like, you know, without you, how would we do all of these things? And basically talks her up, and she's like, all right, everyone, forget all the tasks. Buffer time is back. We gotta stop this invasion.
Basically, it comes out to this is Starfleet, and we are the Cerritos. You do whatever it takes to get the task done. I don't care how you do it. Get it done. And they're like, all right, let's fuck some people up. And they proceed to fuck some people up. And they all run away.
And then it comes to like, oh, okay, they won on there, and everybody's happy. They presented them with the proper crystal. And then she names a rule after him, the Boimler rule, which is the opposite of follow the rules and do everything right. Yeah. And so then you get like the future flashback of like, so one of the important, like in their little school, like, it was Boimler, and he was a lazy jack-off who didn't do anything. But
the laziest, most piece of shit officer to ever work for Starfleet. But thanks to him, we have the Boimler rule, which shows the great efficiency that Starfleet can work with.
And then the next guy we're going to talk about is Chief O'Brien, who really is the most important person in Starfleet.
Amazing.
Did you find the name of that?
I'm trying to find the name of this. This is ridiculous.
So is it like is this whole show just like almost like a comedy? Like,
it's 100% straight comedy. Okay. It is
That's
hard
why I said
comedy.
It's kind of like Family Guy, like Rick and Morty. Okay. Like you get those kind of vibes.
Family Guy is a truly awful example because Family Guy doesn't have continuity.
Yeah.
This is a canon show to the Star Trek universe.
Okay. It's just showing it from the angle of basically like this is what a normal person in Starfleet has to deal with on a daily basis. Exactly. This is what when you're not Kirk, when you're not Picard, this is what your life is actually like. This is the shit you have to go through. Like the
no-name red shirts.
But they're not even red shirts technically. But they
not
are.
to the way that everyone thinks of red shirts.
Moving on to episode 4.
It's also not as like just blatant as she's putting it. She's really summarizing things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's summarized, but like just the way it's explained, I'm like trying to see it in my head. I'm going, this sounds like a very dickish show. Like. Captain's just a complete douche.
Yeah, sorry.
But then at the same time, she's like okay at certain times.
I found it.
Like
it's the adjudication geode.
Adjudication geode.
Like I said, it's just the dumbest name, but and then at the end of the thing, the king is like sad because like we never get to use the adjudication geode. This is crap.
And then you find out that, like, the big dumb monster isn't dumb at all. He's actually, like, one of the smartest people there. And he's like, well, sir, perhaps we shouldn't, do a gladiator-style battle.
It's not like that. Initially, when he's introduced, all he does is scream his own name.
His name is Vindor.
And then when he starts losing, he's like, wait, I thought you could only say Vindor. It's like, no, I just do that to look tough in front of the others. I love to read. And that's it.
Yeah. I love to read.
Yeah. So episode 4 is basically you find out the twist is that the captain is Mariner's mother, and she's been trying to get Mariner transferred off of this ship because all Mariner does is fuck around and make her life difficult, which may be why like she comes off dickish sometimes, and they kind of come up with this, like her and the command kind of come up with a scheme because they're like, well, first thing they try and do is they're like, oh, well, let's just give her all the shitty jobs on the
They make her
Cerritos.
They make her remove the biofilter from the holodeck. If you catch my meaning.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite lines from there was like, I think it was Ransom goes, people really use it for that? They're like,
pretty much all they use it for.
And then she's got to, like, scrape the carbon off the carbon or filter or something. But Mariner being Mariner, like, finds a way to, like, have fun. So, like, it was 3 of them doing the scraping, and she's like,
let's race.
Hey, let's race. Whoever loses, like, has to buy rounds at the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck. All right, then what are we going to do? And they come up with a scheme that will promote her because she hates... basically upper management. So if we make her upper management, like, that'll show her. So they like make her come to like all the stupid like mandatory fun days. Like, oh, this is poker night. She's like, everybody loses this fucking. Oh, do you not fit in? Would you be more comfortable going like to another ship? Do you want to go? No, I'm gonna stay here. Because Mariner's like, I know what you're trying to do. Like, I'm not gonna get into it. And while all this is going on, the mission that they found like this abandoned ship. And at first, I was getting alien vibes. I was like, oh, some shit's gonna go down. Like they're gonna get in the ship and like shit's gonna go horribly wrong. But nothing horror-wise goes wrong. Like it's just her and another admiral, and they're gonna tow the ship to someplace safe, and then they're gonna study it. And because like it has this. Originally, they were transporting this like goo stuff that like kind of makes life. Yeah, terraforming, like, makes life out of nothing. And the other admiral, basically, he's supposed to be point on this, so he wants to take all the credit.
This is like fucking Prometheus, right? I mean, we got this goose shit that fucking creates life, and it terraforms planets.
It creates life from the inorganic matter.
Yeah.
Like, that's
no, honestly.
Like, now my question is, do you guys think that the Alien Predator, universe is with the Star Trek universe?
No, not
Why not?
Technically, they'd be more accurate to say that they're in the Star Wars universe. Darth Vader has actually fought the alien. He's fought the xenomorphs. Yeah.
Yeah, but so is Superman and Green Lantern. So.
Just saying, technically, it'd be closer. It's not. They never fought Star Trek.
But yeah, so the admiral kind of wants to. Since he's supposed to be point, like, he wants to take all the credit and show that he's the good one because he thinks that, the Cerritos are, like, a bunch of fucking lowlifes and fuck them. So he's kind of... I don't remember what exactly he was going through, like, why he thought it was a good idea, but he basically, like, backs up, like, wants to get his ship closer to the other ship, and he somehow fucks the tractor beam up.
His tractor beam... focuses on a smaller point, rips some of the hull off, and so some of the goo starts going, and then he pulls it into the tractor beam, and then it fucks up his ship because it starts turning it into a new planet.
Yeah.
Right, and then
starts terraforming his ship.
And then the Cerritos couldn't get their tractor beam off in time, so then it gets into their tractor beam. So then Mariner and her mom have to like work together to fix the situation because both ships are basically getting torn apart. And then they do all the things, and at the end, it's like, oh, I was wrong about you, Mariner. You really do know how to come through when, the going gets rough.
Question. How do they keep the goo contained?
They go to the environmental...
You know what they do? They freaking... Not Chekhov's gun, that's the wrong trope. They MacGuffin the thing. They 100% like, oh, we do these two things. Put it together. We're good. It's literally they synthesize a gas because they do a lot of technobabble. Synthesize a gas. They Star Trek the shit out of it, and that's what the whole show is about.
We synthesize this gas to make it inert, and it doesn't do anything because we seclude it into a fluid, and then the gas exactly forms around it.
No, they start.
And then we put it into anti-gravity, so it forms into a ball, and then we just surround it with the gas, and it circulates.
Basically, all the plot is never really plot. That's probably really what it is. It's all Star Trek tropes.
It's all it's all very.
They all just
tropey.
Put together. They're like to get to the next humor part or to get to the next callback to the original series and stuff like that. Yeah. Because they play poker because that's how they like to one of their tasks they make her do when they make her a senior officer. It's like you have to come to the senior officer poker game, and they literally all sit there just like you ever saw in Next Generation. They're like, I think I fold. Yep, I fold. They all fold. They all always fold.
The best...
All in, and you're like, you can't do this. This is a friendly game, and also I fold. And you're like,
basically, so how like just about every episode of Rick and Morty, like there's a specific trope that they're making fun of. That's basically this show, but it's all Star Trek tropes.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
with a bunch of original callbacks, because at least once every episode they mention someone, and not even from like the OG. Like in one of them, they mentioned Deanna Troi.
Yeah, that was great. I did enjoy that.
I don't remember what the exact reference
was. Then they talked about 7 and 9 too.
Yeah.
Oh, like, did they? I missed that.
They're like, yeah, looking great in that spandex. Like, they literally said it. It's fantastic.
So he said he really likes it. What did you think of it?
I was very bored.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
I was very bored, and I was just like, there were a couple times that made me laugh. And everything, but the majority of it, I was like, oh, this is this trope from this thing. Okay. Cool. Okay.
What's this on?
Paramount Plus.
Oh yeah, fuck.
I mean, that's the whole point of the show, is that it is supposed to be tropey. It's just supposed to be a fun romp through a canonical version of the Star Trek universe, but it is 100%. It's just supposed to be mostly fun. And they're giving you a different angle that, like, hey, this is totally what would happen if you were in Starfleet, because you'd be this kind of jackass doing this. You're not Picard, even though you've always loved Picard. You always loved Kirk. Guess what?
You're not.
You're not a Kirk. You're not a Picard.
No.
You're the asshole that's getting vented out of the airlock on Deck 19 when he's fighting Khan. Sorry.
And like, I was also kind of tired when we watched it, so I don't know if maybe that fed into some of my.
I think that probably contributed, yes.
Well, I think part of it is also just the mindset you're going at it with, because you had it listed that episode 1 was like, this is where you learn who all the characters are. It's like, not really. You learn a little bit about who Mariner is. You learn a little bit about who Boimler is.
You get like the.
It's the introduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the basic.
These are the names of these characters, but unlike most comedy shows, especially like Rick and Morty and Family Guy, where there's really not this is a show that will have character development where these characters will get better over time.
Well, and I think, and what he pointed out too is that
expectation.
You were like,
hey,
so this is how he thinks that it went for me. You were like, hey, this is a really funny Star Trek show. You guys could watch it. Okay, cool. And my brain went, oh, cool, an animated Star Trek adventure. And then it wasn't an animated Star Trek adventure. It was something very different. So I was very basically confused. You know what I mean? Like my brain didn't sync up with what you said and what I wanted.
Yeah, it's not Star Trek that's animated and might be funny every now and then. It's an animated show that is just set in the Star Trek universe.
Exactly.
So if you're into that, I highly recommend
great.
it.
Absolutely love it.
And he's trying to break stuff.
If you want the more action-oriented stuff, you'll probably be happier once they get to the episode where they make a movie, because it is really just making fun of the reboot movies.
Nice. So yeah, I think, but maybe the next chunk will be better for me, because now I kind of know what the show is, and next time we watch it, hopefully I won't be
just
so
have
tired.
some like coffee or something ready to go. Don't be tired and grumpy.
Well,
I mean,
tired part we might be able to fix.
There is a cat doctor, so maybe if I get more of her.
At least in season 2 you do.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
Ooh. How's everybody doing? Could you get that on the mic?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Nice.
Well, that brings us to our next segment. What you watching? Bel-Air.
That's a city in or I guess a suburb of Los Angeles, I believe correctly.
Yeah. Los Angeles. Yeah.
So everybody remembers the French press.
The French press
of Bel-Air.
French press of Bel-Air. It sounds like some delicious coffee made in there. Oh, I have a Bel-Air, French press.
I have one of those Bel-Air French presses, please.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, I fucking love that show, yeah.
Starring Will Smith.
I believe he was the Fresh Prince.
He was.
You know, parents just don't understand.
So in 2019, this guy, Morgan Cooper, made like a fan-made video of like, the trailer for the drama version, which was just called Bel-Air. It was very kind of dark and gritty, and it showed kind of like what it would actually be if you were in those circumstances. I mean, obviously like dramatized, but you know, more closer to the truth of things than kind of wacky.
Than the 30-minute sitcom thing.
Yeah. So Will Smith happened to like see this and was like, "Oh shit, this is actually like a really good idea," and reach out to Morgan Cooper to be like, "Hey, is this something you'd actually be interested in like pursuing?" And Morgan Cooper's like, "Are you serious? Yeah." Will Smith's like, "Yeah, let's executive produce this together." So we just got Jabari Banks has been cast as Will. And we've also learned that Peacock has ordered 2 seasons of the drama version of Bel-Air. And I'm actually pretty excited for this.
So they're going to make it a TV show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be like an hour-long drama. They've already ordered 2 seasons on like the Peacock streaming network. But Will Smith is one of the executive producers, and then the guy not Amari Cooper.
Morgan?
Amari Cooper's a football player. Morgan Cooper. He's the other executive producer, and so it's supposed to it's supposed to delve more into the actual growth and challenges of being from West Philadelphia, born and raised. But it's also supposed to not still be set it's not a true remake. It's set in modern times and not in the 90s. And that was my shoes. It's okay.
I thought it was a cat
I
dying.
don't know where the squeak was. That was just shoes. We're all good. It's all good, lumberjack man.
I was like, did a cat just get fucking murdered out there?
No, just my shoes. But yeah, no, honestly, it seems kind of interesting because they're still going to hit all the same points. Like all the characters are still supposed to be there, still have the same basic, I guess, roots on that one. Like Will's character is still going to be freestyling, rapping, cool guy that plays basketball and has fun. They still got DJ Jazzy Jeff is going to be there. Mm-hmm. Hillary's still going to be a shopaholic, crazy lady, and Carlton's still going to be kind of the most stuck-up black dude you ever met. None of this is important. Why are all these happening?
We're all getting alerts like, hey, there's a storm a-coming.
Yeah, no
I
shit,
turned my phone
Sherlock.
back on, and my mom sent me a message like, hey, they said to get back by sunset. And I'm like,
oops.
11 p.m. is when the rain's supposed to come in.
Yeah.
I was just looking it up again.
What the fuck are they freaking out about?
It's rain.
Because after Hurricane Harvey, like everyone's like, "Oh my God, there's a tropical storm coming. We're gonna get buried again."
Well, we also did have that big freeze that kind of ruined things for a little bit. So there's some paranoia in Texas about weather.
We have PTSD from weather. Share your PTSD stories below in the comments.
You don't have to do that.
Actually,
please don't do that.
Maybe from weather. Weather's okay. Good stories. We'll take those. I'm always interested in a good story. If it's entertaining.
If it causes you like genuine problems to talk about, don't do it.
Yeah, we're not asking to dig anything up like that. But it's all good.
No, we get it. We all went through Harvey, so you know, you lost a car.
Yeah.
My car exploded from the big freeze.
I got stranded out of town.
Oh, your car exploded in the big freeze?
That's how I would say it. The engine got fucked up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You get some water in there? Crack that engine block?
No.
A little cold?
No, it wasn't. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, this will never work again. I'm like, cool.
And buying a new engine is expensive.
You done
might
really
as well
fucked
just
it
buy
up.
another car. Been there, replaced my engine twice.
Jeez.
But our dad gets her a good deal. He does all the work himself.
No, okay. Makes sense.
Dude's awesome, honestly. Smart, handy, talented.
That's the way you do it.
Cool dude.
Like Keanu Reeves in the new Matrix Resurrections
That guy
trailer.
is smart, talented, and a good dude. You are correct. That was a solid transition.
That we've ruined again
Thanks.
by commenting about how solid it was.
No, always gonna ruin it.
Always
gonna ruin it. So Matrix Resurrections, is that Matrix number 4?
It is. This is canon number 4.
Canon? They're gonna have 4 cannons in it?
Yes, only 4 cannons.
That does not seem
They
like enough
only-
against these robots. I'm
They
sorry.
only had the budget for 4 explosions.
Just 4
No.
explosions?
Oh, that cannon only has 1 in the middle. No, that's a different kind of cannon.
But yeah, so I really liked all of the clapbacks we're getting, especially in the black cat in the therapist office.
Yeah, that was kind of cute.
You don't care that it's black. You just care that it's a cat.
But the
it's
cat in the original was a black cat.
I know. I'm just saying, the thing you care about there is that it's a cat.
Yeah, but it's also a great reference to Deja Vu.
Yeah.
Everything, I'm feel on board with this. It seems like it's going to go in a good direction. The only thing I really have an issue with, where the fuck is Lawrence Fishburne? God
I have an answer to this question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're going to get young Morpheus. No, Morpheus was not asked to be there. I saw it in an interview. It's bullshit.
Do you want to know the answer?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so do you guys remember the MMO Matrix game?
Yeah, it fucking blew.
Okay, you remember how Morpheus dies in it?
Yes.
That's why you're not getting Lawrence Fishburne.
They're keeping that canonical. They're literally not letting Morpheus come back because of one of the shittiest video games ever made.
So who the fuck is this new guy?
Then there's an actor that's going to be playing like young Morpheus. Apparently, I guess there's going to be flashbacks.
So it is
or
still
some bullshit.
Morpheus.
Yeah, there's just going to be some flashbacks or some shit. I guess I don't know.
What, have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, because in the trailer they fight each other.
Yeah,
young Morpheus
it's not a
and
flashback.
old Neo.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on with these guys. Maybe they flashed Neo back to before the previous iteration of the Matrix.
Well,
Who
no,
fucking knows?
because
By that point, when Morpheus would have died, Neo would have been dead.
yeah,
by
because
now.
old Trinity's in there now too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Guess we're gonna have to watch the fucking
I don't know.
movie
It looks
Which
weird.
comes out on December 22nd
of this year.
of this year.
It's actually way sooner than I
Right?
thought.
Yeah.
I thought that was next year.
I look forward to it though. I mean,
Oh, no, I'm gonna see
looks, it looks good. It honestly looks like after he was taken by the machines, they put him like into a catatonic coma where everything's fine, and then they kind of like let the Matrix fix itself, or they fix the Matrix and just kind of let everything work. They don't attack Zion, I guess, and then Zion just tries to get out from underneath there, and I guess that like fucks up.
I don't know what it looks like. Is that the machines saw John Wick and like, oh no, that's cool. We need to bring him back. Give him the same wardrobe. Yeah, I love Keanu Reeves. He's done some great stuff recently, especially with like the John Wick movies. But I'm like, the Matrix had a very distinct visual style, and now we're just stealing it from John Wick. Okay.
I like scruffy Keanu though. I don't like clean shaved Keanu.
I think they made it look like that because he's supposed to look like the old man of the system. You know, like the wise old man that comes back and doesn't know really much.
So he's the new Morpheus.
Yeah, he would be the new Morpheus. Though, where the fuck is he located? You know, he's got to be in like a machine vault or something.
Yeah, because they
kill him.
Because they definitely had his body, but and that's one of the whole points of some of the comics afterwards and stuff like that is that the humans, the Zionists, I guess, whatever, or the people of Zion were never actually able to recover Neo's body ever. Right. And like Trinity has like a whole like mental breakdown over the fact that she tries to murder all the machines again and break the truce because she wants Neo's body back. And they're like, no, we're keeping that. That's the thing.
How did she get back? Because she's dead too.
No, she makes it.
No, she dies in the third movie.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does.
No.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah,
Trinity's dead.
How did she die?
She got impaled on a bunch of basically robotic like.
Nah, she's fine.
No,
she did die. Yeah,
they're able to bring her back.
That's right.
Well, then I guess she definitely comes back at some point in time. There's definitely like stuff that she comes back.
They were flying to the robot city.
We should do a marathon before the fourth one comes out.
Apparently, we need to watch.
I've never seen 2 or 3.
Oh, they suck. We're gonna watch them anyway.
Yeah.
I saw the first one.
They weren't
3
bad,
was better than 2.
That's not a high bar of success.
Yeah.
2 had some really awesome parts
that haven't aged very well.
I mean, the ghosts were cool.
2 had some
ghost programs.
The whole fucking fight scene on the highway is still one of the coolest things of all time. I'm sorry.
You're not wrong. That is a real solid point.
Also, again, Lawrence Fishburne with a fucking samurai sword stabbing into the cars and shit. That's great shit. I like it.
Now I'm just confused now. How was Trinity in there?
I'm
the trailer.
No, I was pretty sure she lived somehow.
Maybe Neo's like in a fever dream or something.
Maybe he's just making his. He got so powerful that maybe he's making his own Matrix in his brain.
Yeah.
But
if
she died as young Trinity, why would she come back as old Trinity?
Because he wants to live a full, long life with her.
Yeah.
It could also just not be either of them. One of the points for Thomas Anderson's original character, Neo, was that he was a techie. He loved hacking and shit. But there's that scene in the trailer where he's looking at all these people on their phones and tablets. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
Maybe it's one of those things where the versions of Trinity and Morpheus are like programs.
Yeah.
You know, and they're trying to break the Matrix because they're rebelling.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing of the Oracle. The Oracle was a part of the system, but didn't play in either side, and then would basically give information, you know, to both without
nice
really giving
to,
information.
Right. To the Animatrix, like the best one in that, where they're trying to, some of the Resistance people are trying to teach the robots how to actually feel emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Animatrix was solid.
Yeah.
That's why I'm actually excited for like the Star Wars, what's it called?
Visions.
Visions, there we go. Because I feel like it's going to be at least on par with Animatrix.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, but
I'm excited for it.
I look forward to the the Matrix.
Resurrection. Oh, yeah. It looks like it's going to be great.
It definitely looks like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I'm criticizing because I want this to be really good.
Yeah. It better be good, not just like old Keanu trying to like do some crazy shit.
Yeah, please don't just have it be John Wick plus the Matrix.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
The machine's fucked up. They killed his dog.
Swear to God. If he goes on a vengeance quest for the black cat.
Yes! Give me that movie.
Yeah, no, Trinity is killed when the ship crashes. Yeah. I'm looking through stuff here, okay?
Refuse to trust us on this shit.
Yeah.
No, I swore I had read something else about a story continuing her after. I swear to God I had.
Well, so one of the reasons that it's probably not something you'll register is because the whole reason that in like 2 when Neo he kind of screws over all of Zion because he's like, you can either save all of Zion or you can save your girlfriend and all of Zion will die. And he's like, well, I'm gonna pick her.
And then he does both.
And then when Zion still, I think, gets fucked up. Trinity he saves for like an hour and then she dies.
Yeah.
And then he saves her again.
No.
She dies, and then he's in the robot city on top of, you know, in the atmosphere of Earth, and then
the source.
Then pretty much, I guess the source program or the mainframe computer comes and talks to him, and that's what that fucking face thing was, you know. And then they're like, yeah, we'll stop attacking Zion if you give us yourself or whatever it is. And so it was pretty much like he sacrificed himself because he had nothing else to live for.
Yeah.
Hot.
But it was stupid because all they did was just plug him into the system and that was it.
Yeah, but they plugged him into the central computer, so when he defeated Smith, then he's able to, all the programs that Smith had absorbed and taken over for himself all go revert back to normal. Basically, is what happened.
Yeah.
I literally just read it right here.
Oh, they all reverted back.
Matrix,
yeah, they all reverted back to normal, and then all humans were then given the opportunity to either stay in the Matrix or leave and go to Zion. So the Matrix was still a thing. That's where they have that's where the peace between the machines happens.
Yeah.
The final piece.
Though I think with the MMO, that is.
Yeah,
Morpheus does break that piece by
yes,
trying
100%.
to get Neo's body.
Not long after the truce, humans never content with a good ting start surreptitiously constructing a second Zion, breaking the rules of a ceasefire between the machines and the humans.
Yeah.
Because Morpheus is an asshole.
So
it's Morpheus wants to get Neo's remains back. I thought it was Trinity.
Morpheus wants his friend's body back.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
he wants
also
his
slightly Messiah. So that would be kind of an interesting way to do it too. Is if the Matrix has kind of made Neo a tool for them to like go against Zion's forces.
Yeah.
Especially it's like, hey, look, we brought Trinity back for you. You know that whole reason you were being real stupid in the second movie?
Yeah, she's
maybe like, hey, can we get some help? We brought your girl back.
Go fuck up those humans. She's all yours.
Didn't in the trailer she pops out of one of the goo vats?
We can't really tell who it does. It does kind of look like it could be a shaved-headed her.
Yeah, it does look like a shaved-headed her.
Yeah.
So maybe they did bring her back and
maybe
they like cloned her body or some shit.
That seems like some machine thing to do.
Yeah,
it's close enough, right?
It'd be a decent way to make sure these characters continue to exist. Well, the Matrix preserved their consciousness, and then they just made a clone body that's exactly the same as the original one, but still also old because we aren't going to recast.
What if that's exactly how the machines do it? They don't have any like baby making thing. They just have a clone thing. So they just clone the population that they keep having, and then that's kind of like in the Matrix. They have the
that never worked.
Past lives.
Never taken a copy of a copy.
Yeah.
Just never works.
You never know.
Well, that's why we got Neo talking to Neil Patrick Harris here as a psychologist.
Who is definitely the new Smith, and I'm getting that vibe so hardcore. I'm like, oh, please. If I get to see Keanu Reeves and Neil Patrick Harris have a knockdown, drag-out kung fu battle, I'm gonna freak out a little bit.
I don't think he is.
I really want it to be, though. It would be so
because
awesome.
later on he's in a different office talking to a totally different dude.
You never know. Just come on, please.
So we know that different dude seemingly is not actually affiliated with the Matrix. Because there's a still you can see it where he's got that same like weird mouth melding thing that happens to Neo in the first one. It's like a punishment. They like melt his mouth together.
Maybe Neo did that to him.
Maybe, since it's possibly evil Neo.
Evil Neo.
I'm here for it. Please make Neo
Do
evil.
it.
Like,
honestly, evil Neo would be great too.
Yeah.
I got no problem with it. Anywhere this goes, I'm gonna be excited for it. I think it's gonna be okay. I'm a little sad that it's not both the Wachowskis doing it. It's just one of them now.
Yeah.
It's Lana now.
Yeah.
I forget the other
Maybe
one's
the one
name
that-
now.
Maybe the sister that isn't involved is the one that caused them to, constantly talk about inane shit all the time.
That is apparently was a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe it's Lana Wachowski is the one that's actually doing this
Yes.
movie, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think Leah is the other. I don't remember the other Wachowski.
Yeah. So since we took a little break earlier under emergency reasons, we're just gonna roll right into Gamers Corner.
We rolling on through?
We're rolling on through.
Okay.
God, I need to take a break.
Yeah, no, you still have to go to
All
work
right,
tomorrow.
break.
I'm back.
So we got the PlayStation Showcase last Thursday. Got a bunch of
That was last
stuff
Thursday?
announced.
God,
Yes.
Thursday?
apparently.
Yes, because I was off.
Feels like a month ago, but also yesterday. I don't know what happened there.
So first thing they showed us was Knights of the Old Republic
That's not
remake.
the first thing they showed us.
No, that was literally
That was
the
the
first
first
thing.
thing they
Well,
showed
no, the first
us.
thing they showed us was a really dumb video that they
Was it-
always do for like these like lead-ins for
Yeah.
the showcase.
Actually,
it
the-
was fucking stupid. The first game we saw was KOTOR.
Yeah, the first
Actually, I
thing
didn't
was
hate
the
the first
PlayStation.
video. Is that bad?
Well, the first thing was the PlayStation hype reel.
Yeah, I honestly didn't hate the hype video. I'm like, this one's actually one of the better ones they've had.
But
I think I just get tired of
It
seeing
was a really
them.
intricate chess game, and I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of okay.
But the actual playable thing, Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they said remake
and not remaster.
and not remaster.
Especially with Aspire involved, because that would pretty much just be
Let's port it to a new
spelled
thing.
with a Y instead of an I.
Might
But
be.
Pyre, like funeral pyre.
yeah. If it was a
'Cause they
if it was a
normally kill
remaster, they're just gonna port the game to the new systems.
Yeah, so this is going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Awesome.
being
Rebuild
made
from the
by-
ground up, correct?
Yeah, being made by Aspire and Lucasfilm. We have no date. They said it's going to be a really long time before you see anything else. So take your little snippet and like it.
I'm pretty sure that they only showed it because it's been leaked for the last like several months that this is gonna be
You're
a
like,
thing.
oh, this is definitely going to be a thing. Everybody's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
They're like,
But
yeah,
I
it
did-
is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
I did really like it because, it opened and it was like very dramatic. And then I was like,
October.
the first thing I thought was like, oh, they're giving us Fallen Order 2. That's cool. And then it was like, I forget what the line was, but it's like, powers of the Sith. And then he turns his lightsaber on and you get Darth Revan's face. And I was like, oh, okay, just kidding.
To be clear, his name is Darth Revan, not Revan.
Bye-bye. Do what I want.
It's also a lightsaber, not a lightsaber.
At the same time, why?
Because this is what people have been yelling they want
Yeah,
forever.
Revan is one of the most popular characters in the extended
no,
Star
no,
Wars
no.
universe.
When's this game coming out?
Who knows?
Oh
Nobody
yeah, we know.
knows.
Like I said, it seemingly is just because the information got leaked a while ago, so it's like, all right, fucking fine, we'll confirm it, and then we'll move on.
No, you know what it was?
What?
They had nothing else good to put on there, so they just, oh we're confirming it.
Yeah, well,
I don't know when it's gonna come out.
We saw some pretty good shit.
There was quite a bit of shit on there.
Yeah, like there was some pretty solid shit.
Because
again, just to
why?
announce, like,
One,
hey,
because he said,
because they're trying to get people to actually buy PS5s. Like, we're gonna make Knights of the Old Republic for the PS5. You might as well buy one now. And like these next couple of games that we're also gonna put on there, because eventually you're gonna be able to play KOTOR on it.
I hate PlayStation.
But that's not how they framed it at all. Because they gave you the teaser trailer, and the only reason I know that you're not going to see anything else for a while is because after the showcase, I stuck around and watched the developer interviews. And so if you didn't watch the developer interviews...
You probably think it's coming out next year, so you're going to go out and buy a PS5. That's the whole point of it.
But he even said, it's like, this was just something we wanted to put out to show you that this is the next Star Wars thing we're working on.
yeah.
And, even if it's not coming, I mean, it's not anything different than that doesn't happen at E3. I mean,
Well, yeah.
there are games that get announced that we don't see for 5, 6, 7 years after that. I mean, hell, when the Last Guardian was first announced was like 2014 or 2015 or something, and we didn't even get that game out until 18 or 19.
I'm just gonna say this: if you go to one of these events, if anyone here watches this and goes to any one of those events, if that ever happens and they don't give you a release date, boo the shit out of them. Boo them so hard that you will never buy their consoles ever again. For the simple reason that if they can't put out fucking games that you're gonna buy in fucking 6 months, then fuck them. Fuck them hard, because they're just teasing you. And there's no point in that, because you're not going to get anything out of it. You're just going to be like, oh, Star Wars is coming? Star Wars? Oh my god.
Hey, Tom.
God, I love Star Wars.
Hey, Tom. That's why it's called a teaser trailer.
No, fuck that. No teaser trailers fucking 5 years away. Fuck that shit.
He's going to be real mad when he finds out about some of these
shit.
other stuff.
I mean, to be fair, gaming teaser trailers can be even further. I mean, Cyberpunk was released announced 10 years before
and everybody was like, I'm waiting for it. And it's like, why?
All
like,
I got is
I'm not going to buy the console for that shit. I don't want to wait 10 years for something.
You waited Duke Nukem,
no,
you waited 20 years for a terrible game.
Yes. Yeah. Why? Why show a release date or not anything? Just be like, oh, we're making it. Like, when?
I believe for your...
Give me an idea.
But again,
give me a deadline.
Because it had gotten leaked, it at least puts those
give me a deadline.
bed to rest, letting them know, hey, this actually is something that we're working on.
Yeah, but to his point, Cyberpunk was 10 years in advance, and it still came out like trash.
Well, that's because...
Put these developers on a freaking time frame where they can actually
That's the
do
problem.
something.
Put them on a time frame.
10 years?
They forced them to release this game before it was finished. That was what the developers always said. It's like, we're going to release it when it's done. And then the upper manager's like, no, you're going to release it now because it's been too long.
Because everybody started
like lazy
screaming
developing.
out, being like, I want
years.
this game, I want this game, I want this game. When's the game? It keeps getting pushed back, it keeps getting pushed back. And they were like, we're still trying to fix it. It is still broken. And nobody wanted to hear that. They wanted their fucking game. So they got their fucking game. And what they turn around, this game is broken.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, motherfucker, because if you just kept your goddamn mouth shut and waited for them to finish the game.
If the fucking developer would just fucking stick to their fucking shit and be like, we're not releasing until this gets done. Sorry, everyone. And if everybody's pissed off about that.
Then the console goes, hey, we're not giving you any more money.
Good.
You release this now.
Then you should have got that done.
Don't.
You should have got that done. You had 10 years to work on this fucking game.
Gaming companies, it's going to work a little bit different than like movie trailers and stuff. Movies, it's at the most $20 you're going to go to see a movie in a
But
theater.
for movies, like, okay, for some movies it takes a year, 2 years for them to film and get done. Okay, so I expect a game 3-4 years.
Avatar 2 has been in production for 15 years.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
But
I'm just saying. So there's still there
And
there
know
are
when
parallels.
that movie comes out that it's going to be a box office hit.
Yeah.
Nah,
Whether it's a good
I'm not even
movie-
going to go watch it.
Whether
it's a good movie or not, it's going to make more money than God.
That's
Yeah.
just because people are stupid. You people are stupid if you go to these things. I promise you. Don't go to the things that you've been waiting on for 15 fucking years. That's nonsense. Even with Dune. Like Dune. I love Dune. But I won't go see it until they finally go, this is a date that's going to come out. And I'll go, great.
Well, yeah, cause
But if they put out a trailer, I'm not going, oh, the new Dune movie's coming out. I'm really excited. I don't hype myself up. Who gives a fuck?
Literally what you did on our first episode.
Because it was an actual trailer. They're saying it's going to be released.
They gave him a date.
Yes.
They did give him a date.
And I was like, oh, it's going to come out this year. Great, yeah, you know. If they postpone it, I'd be like, fuck, you know, I'd be pissed. But at least they would postpone it for a good, valid reason, not just fucking, hey, in about 5 years, you're going to see a new Knights of the Old Republic. It's a game that we already made, but we're going to remake it. Like, why? That you shouldn't be excited for that.
Are you familiar with developer crunch? Do you know what that is?
Basically, where they're being told to get something done in a quick manner.
And not just that, but it's causing all of your developers to work overtime to almost the point of abuse to try and get a game finished. It's why one of the reasons people are so fucking pissed at The Last of Us Part 2 is because for the last 3 or 4 months that it was being worked on, it was all crunch time.
Okay, so I know we're not all developers here, but logically speaking, what do you think would be the issue that the developers are facing? If we have any developers watching, what is the issue that's causing you to take 15 to 10 years to get something done?
A demand for extremely high quality visuals. Games do not have to look photorealistic to be fun.
I was about to agree with that. Yeah. It's more about art direction than it is about realism.
Right.
I honestly don't give a crap about realism. It can look. Guess what? Some of the best games that have ever held up over time. Mario, Zelda. Guess what? Those don't fucking look real.
Give me a fucking game that has a good story, a good plot, and some good art direction, and I'll be fucking
every
fine.
Game that's every game that's ever tried to be like the photorealistic, like, oh, it's so accurate, you can see the pores on their face. I'm like, yeah, but the gameplay suffers.
Yeah.
And guess what? I went there for 5 seconds and went, oh, that's cool. How do I play the game? Cool. I don't give a shit what they look like, honestly, 90% of the time.
Yeah.
And most iconic games aren't like that. They have an art style that has guess what? It can last forever.
But you do have a lot of people that are, when they say, hey, this game is going to be higher fidelity, it is going to look like this. People go in expecting a game to look like, let me see the pores of their face, let me see the strands of their hair. And then when they don't get that, they're going to be upset.
Yeah. And it's excessive and stupid.
And that's what I'm saying. They need to stop advertising that.
I would say that's probably 10% of gamers going, I want to see fucking a vagina look like a vagina. And you're like, why? Why do you even care about that? Like, you're playing a fucking video game. Like, why do you want to see someone's pores? Like, you want to see the sweat coming out of a pore? Like, what's the point? You're going to be more enthralled with the shooting, the cinematics, the scenery. Like, I would love, like, fucking Skyrim. Skyrim looks like trash character model wise, but with the mods and stuff, they look fucking great with scenery, and that's what keeps you in the world. That's what keeps you playing. And the quest
I've never looked at my character's face. Since the first time that I made it. Don't give a shit what that dude looks like.
As soon as you make it, you're like, cool, and then you go around the world.
I watched the back of his head for the next 1,400 hours.
Yeah.
Counterpoint.
If you stay in first
you're
person,
paying between $400 to $2,000 for a gaming console or a gaming PC. I mean, sometimes more on a gaming PC, but let's just say between $4,000 and $2,000.
You can make a pretty good rig for $2,000.
Yeah, I know.
For something that is advertised as, I have 4K graphics. You can see this in 60 frames per second. And if you go to play a game that isn't 4K, doesn't have 60 frames per second, then you kind of feel like, well, then why the fuck did I spend all this money on this rig when the games can't even keep up with it?
Not even that. I have a gaming PC, and the PC itself runs 4K games and shit like that. I still don't care. I want a good game. I truly just want a good game.
Yeah, you want the game to be fun first, and then maybe good looking after.
God, I mean, shit, like Elite Dangerous, right? It's a space game.
Oh yeah, love that game.
Fantastic visuals. Yeah. The suns look great. I mean, you can fly up on a sun. You're like, oh shit. You can see a black hole. You can see a whole bunch of crazy cool shit. And you're like, man, this is
That's wrong with physics. You can't see a black hole.
Well, it'd be the whole fucking event horizon with all the shit circling around and that kind of thing. I mean, come on. It gotta be freaking a black hole. There's nothing around it.
Literally, that's the whole point. Is you can't see a black hole.
But no,
I can sympathize with the people that want those high graphics. Like, yeah, you could have easily just ported KOTOR. Easy
I still would have bought it.
But it's like, at the same point, if you're gonna bother going through all that trouble, why not remake the game and make it better?
That's what I'm saying. I want them to remake that game 100%, because guess what?
it didn't look that good. The visuals on that do not hold up. Do not hold up. Yeah. Because you know why? Because they tried to make it look as realistic as possible and didn't go with a stylistic art direction that they could have easily done, especially because Star Wars lends itself to that really well. Make it based on some Ralph McQuarrie freaking
do Borderlands, for God's sakes.
Borderlands
would be interesting to look at, you know.
And while some of the early like Borderlands 1 stuff hasn't aged super well, it's not horrible because they made it stylized, so it's still that same kind of thing.
That's what it's supposed to be. Exactly.
But I mean, that's
give me better. I don't give a shit about visuals. Give me better physics.
Yeah, I mean,
work on the physics so that I can actually get a virtual reality game that actually works.
But going back into why is this taking so long? Why, they have to work all that stuff has to be coded, and then it has to be tested, and then it has to be fixed. Like, there's a lot of things that come up
But I will still give Tom the point on that one is, but why just tell me unless you're close?
Get close.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, get close. And
even if it's been leaked, even if it's done that, because guess what? Now as soon as they've confirmed it, now the people that were going, well, it's been leaked. I think it's supposed to be coming. Now all those people are diving even deeper and going, well, you know what I found now? I talked to the guy. He empties the trash over there, and he told me that they changed Revan's helmet. And now there's only going to be stuff that people are bitching about this game now before it even comes out.
They were doing that anyway.
But guess what? The point. Then they can bitch about it, and the developers don't have to listen or do anything about it because they can still glean from those things.
Yeah, don't be
but
pressured.
People aren't already making judgments and destroying the game before it's even actually even developed.
Don't be pressured into changing your game because the populace was like, oh, I heard that it was leaked and this might be the case. Fuck that. If you want to tell me, like, I want to see this type of helmet on him because it's canon and that's the way it should look, okay, I have no problem changing it. But if it's not in the art direction that I need to go, then I probably would make it an executive decision to make sure that my game went the way that we intended it to go in the first place, not the way that others wanted it, because you're either going to enjoy my experience of the game that I created or you're not. And I think that's the biggest problem with these developers is that they try to give everything to the populace. When
everything to everybody that everything wants. Yeah. And even though you can't, you're never going to be able to please everybody anyway.
Just put out a game that people will enjoy, and people are going to have criticism about it. People are going to be angry about it. But that's going to be like 5% of your base. If you put out a good game, everybody's going to be like, yeah, the story was great. Art kind of sucked, but the story was fantastic. Or, man, this was a great, fun game to play. Story kind of sucked, but it really does age well over time, And those are the type of people that are gamers, not the freaking bang bang shoot 'em up guys. Like, I play Call of Duty all day long. I wanted Knights of the Old Republic to be able to be a Star Trooper and just freaking shoot Jedis all day long. Like, why? Like, fucking play the fucking game.
Go play Battlefront.
Yeah, but Knights of the Old Republic. You were here for the wrong thing right out the gate.
The shoot bang bang people probably wouldn't play KOTOR anyway, just because it's not their type of game.
It is a turn-based strategy game, to be clear. Yeah.
Right. So they weren't going to play that anyway.
But I mean, to some degree, I kind of get that, and I'm a little stuck on visuals being so important because it's still with The Last of Us Part 2. One thing that was pointed out to me is that they've put a lot of details into how your character interacts with the world. If you've been sprinting a lot, you got very red face. You're huffing a lot. If you've got snow and you went somewhere warm, it'll melt. Your clothes will get wet. No one's gonna notice that in the moment, though. They're not going to give a shit because you're not looking at your face when you've been running because there's a bunch of people around you trying to murder you.
Yeah, there's stuff like that it takes so much time. It adds so much stuff. And it adds so much detail. And it's wonderful that they can do it. But why did they spend 7 months doing that when they could have just finished the physics engine on the game and been done?
Well, they have different people working on different things. You don't have everyone on your team working on one thing.
Well, absolutely, but
but they could have taken a bunch of people off of the stuff that was unnecessary and put them on the one thing to get the game done and make it work right.
Yeah.
And then you also have to consider, so this is by Aspire and Lucasfilm, and you don't know what the divvy up is, like how many people from Lucasfilm are working on this, because Lucasfilm is also working on, I forget who the other developer is, but they're working on that Indiana Jones game that we only got a teaser trailer for.
I'm not against you, by the way. I'm okay with teaser trailers for games. I'm very excited for the KOTOR remake, and I don't care that they've
I am too.
Now.
But my thing is, I'm really excited for the game, but it's also sitting there going, why don't you wait to tell me until you actually have something in the works?
Yeah, kind of give me an expected date. I mean, I honestly wouldn't care if they were like, right now, hey, because this leaked, we're going to give you a taste of what we're seeing, and kind of put out a little stuff and say, hey, look, we're at the beginning stages of this process. In about 2 years, you'll see some type of resolution out of this.
Give me at least some sort of timeline. Like you said.
Maybe it's just because you and I watch E3 and we watch these game showcases so often that we're
just kind of used to it. I hate all of those too, though.
What comes with the territory for us.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You guys just went, oh, well, this is normal. This is a normal.
And I think it shouldn't be normal.
Yeah, it should not be normal. It shouldn't be normal to have to sit there and look at something and be like, oh, I'm going to get excited about this game. And the only reason they're doing that is to sit there and say, oh, you might want to buy the new console. Like, no, show me why I want to buy the console. Don't tell me why I need to buy the console. Don't put me into a console and say, oh, well, 4 years down the line, you're going to get some next-gen bullshit. No,
4 years down the line,
by that time, you're already going to have a new
console,
next-gen that's going to be compatible with said game. So why would I want to even bother with that? And at the same time, when it comes down to this game being a remake, do you not think that they're not going to use the code that they already have?
No, they completely rebuilt the game.
That they would not be doing so.
Bullshit.
They're going to
use some of their code. And all they're going to do is edit it to make it look a little bit different. But the turn-based style stuff will probably be the same.
But literally what he said was, it's a complete remake. They rebuilt it, but it still honor the story, and they're making it higher fidelity.
Yeah, so they're just remaking the code.
Yeah. Just like they're doing with Dead Space.
But that means they're taking the code. Yeah, and with Dead Space, they're taking the code. They see the code that they have for the certain models. They edit that code to make the model change a little bit different by, instead of making a 16 pixel character into a 64 pixel character, and then they add extra lines that they normally did back then that they didn't do then, or they do now that they didn't do then. So they're going to use the code. They're just going to edit it and make it look better, maybe change the backgrounds, make something different. So if you're going to take code that you already have turn-based wise and everything, do you think it should take you 5 years to redo it all? In your opinion, does it take 5 years to copy something that you did and tweak it?
Now, there's more to it than that.
How long?
Obviously, yes.
Do you know how long I waited for the Final Fantasy VII remake?
Too long.
The original game came out in 1997.
Yeah, too long.
That one, they literally were just waiting for the technology to catch up.
Well,
yes.
that was also, it also had
every
to do
time
with,
they almost finished the game, a new console came out and they go, well, let's report it again.
It actually had to do with a legal matter and the rights that were going on behind the scenes, because the first time they tried to redo it,
well, that's through Sony,
there was Square Enix.
Square Enix, yeah.
There was some legal shenanigans, and that's why it had gotten shelved for a while, and they had to wait for that to run out before they could bring it.
And to give Aspyr some credit, the last couple of games they've announced, though, they have been remasters of old games.
Yeah.
They usually have put a trailer out for the first time like a month or two before the game launches.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this instance, it seems like it either isn't their decision or it feels like this is going to take a minute. Y'all have figured it out. It's not another remaster. We're remaking this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still wouldn't.
So don't expect this in a couple of months because you found out about this one like you did the other ones. This one's going to be a ways away.
I would have put out a news article or reached out to some gaming magazine and said, yes,
this
we
would
are.
get more people's attention.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
No, fuck that, because that it gets people's attention, but it does fucking nothing. At least an article would be like, yes, there's a rumor that it's a remake, and you don't have to make this big broad thing. You don't have to make some CGI thing. They spent so much time putting this CGI thing together for this video. Time wasted to remake that game.
Could have been working on the game.
Could have been working on the game.
They probably just used. That's probably going to be a cutscene. The freaking game.
Probably is.
Could very much be exactly what it's going to be. Revan gets his memories back because it's Bastila doing an overvoice and it's slowly Revan coming into frame.
It could be.
Yeah, and it's probably part of the game, but
it's most likely this is the one thing we finished here.
Which is a little sad too.
But I'm pretty sure most of their issue will be creating the game, like the CGI effects and the scenes. That's going to be their longest take.
And
that's what's
the
taking them
reason
the
why
issue.
they're probably saying, "Hey, you're not going to hear about this now for a while," is because continuously trying to put out trailers and stuff like that does take away from the people that are making the game. Right. So here's your little thing to nibble on. Do with this what you're going to do with it, and we'll talk to you guys later.
It's better than the Metroid Prime 4 teaser, which was literally just Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
You just
coming someday.
you literally just got a title.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like it was just like boop.
And I got some
and
issues with
everybody's
that
like,
too.
"Oh yeah, all right, cool. We're gonna get that soon."
Like shoot,
never getting that game.
even Disney just I can't even remember which ones they are, but they just announced 4 new movies that they're gonna come out in like the next 14 years. I'm like, you already changed all of those the last time that we did it because you're like, oh, guess what? We got the rights to these. We got the rights to these. We lost the rights to that. It changes anyway. Stop announcing them 14 years out for me, okay? I don't need to plan my timeline that fucking far.
As a consumer, everybody should be upset when they give you a teaser or something and then they don't have any result. The only result is a scene, and they're going to say, oh, it's coming out soon. Like, no. Like, just tell me it's not ready yet, and don't send me a trailer because I don't want to pretend, that something's going to happen within a year's time and then be disappointed, because then all that's going to happen is I'm just going to be upset with the game.
I get why they do it, but it just upsets me as overall in the industry. I think it's not a good move, and it's not a good way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to give me E3 and, the Sony Play and all that stuff, like, show me games that I will be able to play in the next 6 months.
Show me games I will be able to play before your next E3.
Yes, before your next console.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of stuff, we didn't get a date for this, but we did get a gameplay trailer.
See, this one's a little bit closer.
This one
at least has gameplay.
This one, apparently this has been out on the ether for a while, but I hadn't heard about it until the showcase. It's called Project Eve.
Is this the one we were?
No, that's Forspoken.
That's Forspoken. Okay.
Yeah.
So this, I don't know, it was giving me like Bayonetta Nier vibes, because the main character does have like the long, flowy black ponytail thing, and then she's like in this like tight fucking suit.
Tight fucking.
Like, seriously, like, and the whole time, I'm like, her butt is glowing. Why is her butt glowing?
Glowing?
Because it's an anime game.
Got a glowy butt.
It did look like
it.
The only reason
butt.
it wasn't giving me anime vibes was because, like, it wasn't in that, like, traditional anime style. Like, it was very much...
Good game.
Over.
Yeah, it was very much more like Bayonetta Nier style.
Yeah.
But it's a hack and slash post-apocalyptic world. I don't really know much else about it, but it looked interesting.
I will say I saw a bit of that. It didn't really remind me of Bayonetta though, because the combat was a little too slow for that. It really does look like one of the like anime Dark Souls clones, where you have very slow attacks and you got to dodge out of the way and shit. Like it doesn't strike me as a Devil May Cry-esque thing. The reason I switched to that is because they're the same people, but not important.
And then something we do have a date for, that had already been announced at E3, was we got more of Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yep.
So we're getting that March 25th of next year.
I did like that, like, because, well, again, their teaser trailer, they at least gave us a little bit of information, like, we got a great voice cast, we got some cool stuff going in on this.
Well, this one was more of the gameplay trailer.
This actually looked like how it looked.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was disappointed with the graphics.
Well, no, it's that same stylized thing that Borderlands does.
But
like,
here's the thing. Like, I get that Borderlands has that stylized feel, but like, at this point, I'm like, okay, let's clean these graphics up. Like, let's make this look like what I was talking about earlier. Let's make this look like it belongs on a next gen console.
But that's the whole point. Is it's not supposed to. It's supposed to. The gameplay is going to be smoother and faster.
It didn't even look smooth. Like, it honestly looked trash to me.
It is still not done. The game is still being worked on. Otherwise, it'd be released now. That is one thing that people have to remember about earlier trailers. Is like, oh, this looks kind of ugly. That's not a completed work. It's just a show. Hey, this is what's here.
And we still got another 6 months until 6 months until it's done.
But I am actually really excited about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
I'm still gonna go pre-order it.
Yeah.
But I'm.
You're what's wrong with the gaming industry then?
Based on what
I don't like it, but I'm gonna pre-order.
With like that versus like Borderlands 3, it is actually even visually a very, very large improvement. You just have to get used to Borderlands visual style to really be able to tell.
Maybe that's what it was, is, it went from like very high fidelity Darth Revan looking very realistic to this very good looking, anime style game. And then I got that and I was like,
Well, yeah, again, but that's the whole point of the Borderlands style
It's
games.
not
They
trying
have
to be photorealistic. It's
they have a
style.
very specific style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And that's why, again, I think that's why the Borderlands games have held up for as long as they had and as well as they've had.
absolutely. Also, just having a game where Tiny Tina is DMing.
Her intro for this was.
There's a lot of really great little like visual kicks to that in the game too, from what it looks like, and that seems like a really great touches there.
So her intro for this was enter a world of metal and magic and lots of guns.
Yeah. Remember that comment was like, why do you think there's guns in a fantasy setting? Who cares?
It's Borderlands. We want you to be able to build guns.
What I've seen so far on this is a lot of people are like real mad about the guns part. They're like, no guns. We don't want guns in this.
That's because they were expecting like hard fantasy games. Like, no, man, it's Borderlands. Even when they did the Tiny Tina like D&D DLC, you still had guns.
Yeah, they might be a magic gun.
I mean, it looks like you're having abilities that are more fantasy-oriented. Like, there's that one dude with a giant hammer. You can get a bow, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think there's definitely going to be fantasy elements, but they're still running it off the basic Borderlands style. They're like, 90% of what people like about Borderlands is how much you can customize your guns and do fun stuff with it.
Yeah. The only thing I'm not clear on, because they were like, join a party, and then it's a looter shooter, and I'm like, so is this like an online thing, or is this going to be like...
It'll likely be like all previous Borderlands, where you can play by yourself as your picked character, but you can also play online or with a split-screen co-op where you can play together.
Hopefully it keeps the split-screen co-op option, because that's one of the reasons that still brings you back to Borderlands.
Absolutely. Being able to play together, and there's 4 of us, so if this comes out, it's kind of perfect for
us. Oh, we're definitely doing that, for sure.
Hoot hoot. And then...
Who tooted? Nobody, I don't think.
Spooking.
Spooking about.
Games that you thought we were talking about. We got a better look at Forspoken. We don't have an exact date, but they said spring 2022 time-ish. Yeah. So this trailer...
been okay with that.
This trailer was very... It kind of gave you a little bit more, because previously we only saw her in like the fantasy world. Yeah. But this brought you in. It starts in what looks like possibly New York City, or kind of like that cityscape type feel. And she's kind of talking to her cat about, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do all these things. And then she randomly gets sucked into this portal. My first question is, what the fuck happens to her cat?
It's probably dead.
What are you talking about? It just lives its life.
Maybe the cat's the bracelet now.
Leaves its hand.
Yeah, okay, because she does get this talking bracelet, and it was like, is the cat the talking bracelet?
That'd be funny.
I was like, going into this trailer,
this game looks legit.
I thought it was going to be like a Life is Strange style thing, because it was really a modern setting, and it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then it goes to the fantasy, it's like, well, why is she in a castle? Is this going to be some weird supernatural mystery?
There's fucking dragons.
She's flying around shooting fireballs.
It looks legit.
It looks pretty fucking great.
It honestly looks
really
pretty
here
cool.
for it.
It was kind of giving me like Alice in Wonderland vibes.
I was getting like Skyrim mixed with Assassin's Creed kind of thing like that. Like, I've got magic and weapons, but also I'm gonna jump off of buildings and fly around and do weird shit like this. And you're like, okay.
Well, I was thinking like, sucked into this weird world and, trying to figure out, where am I? What's going on? How do I get out of here?
Yeah.
But the gameplay looked really good. I do like you're going to be able to like fly around and use different powers, and
it is worth noting that that's likely we saw gameplay of like a fully upgraded character using some of the
100%
like end game abilities.
Well,
but still.
They're not going to show you a basic unless you're the Outer Worlds 2 people. They're not going to show you no basic ass trailer.
Well, see, what I would like is if games like that more often didn't show me the extremes right away, so I could unlock those and be surprised. It's to some degree what like y'all were talking about, where it's like a trailer comes out. I actually have a tendency to immediately stop looking into that kind of stuff. I don't want to see anymore. I want to be surprised by the game. I'm glad I know it's coming, but I'm done now.
Mm-hmm. I'm that way with the movies. I'm like, I want to know what's coming.
Same thing, yeah.
I don't want to see anything in the trailer, because you always put the best part of the fucking movie in the trailer, and I don't want to see it anymore. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I'm okay with like the Disney Marvel movies, because like, we're going to put all the good stuff in the trailer, and then none of that's going to be in the movie, because we actually have a completely different movie from what the trailer we actually showed you was. Have a great time. Bye.
And then we got a look at Rainbow Six Extraction. Aliens.
Like the aliens from Aliens?
No, it's
or
just
just
Marines
aliens
versus aliens.
Yeah.
They
Coming
clearly
out.
run out of Tom Clancy's material and are just fucking
Coming
around
out
now.
January 2022.
Yeah.
It's Rainbow Six with aliens.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're getting Alan Wake remastered.
you can go fuck itself.
I never played it. It's the first time it's gonna be on PlayStation. We have no date. It's gonna by Epic
It
Games.
was not really
I don't
one
know
of my
anything about
favorites.
this game.
Didn't like it when I played it on my brother's Xbox.
It was alright.
Yeah.
Should have stopped with God. What was the games they did before that? There's a whole series of them before that, and they should not have. They should have just stopped at that and not made Alan Wake.
All right.
And then they were like, oh, we're giving you a GTA, but not really. It's just GTA 5 online. It's going to be on PS5. Yay.
You're really starting to get close to Skyrim there, Rockstar, so stop it.
And then we got the trailer for Ghostwire Tokyo. To me, it kind of looked like the Japanese, like, Infamous or, like, the Japanese prototype.
That'd be interesting.
Those were kind of the vibes I was getting from it.
I got more of like a open world BioShock.
Max Payne. That's
Yeah.
that was the game I was trying to think of.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Which one? For which one?
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo.
I didn't see that one.
But again, same thing with this. Like the graphics, I was kind of like, I don't know. Like you look very last gen-y, and you're
You're a
trying to-
graphics snob.
It's been in development for quite some time now. And it looks like they are very much going stylized
Every game
over
needs to be
high
4K.
fidelity. Because
It doesn't need to be 4K, but don't advertise this to me as a game that's gonna be for PS5 if it's not gonna run at PS5 levels. The game doesn't look PS5 level. It looks PS4 level.
I mean, they have yet to make a single game that would be PS5 level in that sense. Because we do have stuff like Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition that can run at like 120 FPS if you have a good enough monitor.
I mean, if the PS5 is already overheating, I'm pretty sure that it's already, hitting
Exactly.
its level.
I don't think we want to push it too hard here. But no, with Ghostwire, I wouldn't expect hyperrealism. It really does look like they're trying to do a stylized thing rather than a hyper-realistic thing.
Maybe. And then we got the story trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, honestly, at this
It
point,
still looks good.
I already decided I was getting this game like 4 months ago, so it's kind of
Honestly,
like
they could probably stop giving me stuff because now it's just spoiling the game.
Yeah, just stop it at this point. Let me figure it out the rest on my own.
yeah.
Tell me
like,
when the pre-orders open. We're good to
it's
go.
already
Yeah.
open. It's
Exactly.
already
That's what I'm
pre-ordered.
saying. Is yeah.
Already, yeah.
That's all. We're good. We're good.
And then we got Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over vampires. I'm pretty much all on video.
I played Vampire
done.
the Masquerade tabletop D&D style, so yeah, I'm good.
All right. I kind of want to get it. It might not be the top of my list, but it's like this looks like it could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, you get to make a custom character, you get to pick your faction. They said it's supposed to come out. They said it's supposed to come out this year, but didn't actually give us a date. So
So Christmas time.
Yeah,
Yeah. I just don't want to pay $60 for it.
that's fair.
I'm done.
No, it's understandable. There's plenty of that's like kind of what I mean by it looks like it might be fun. I kind of want to get it.
I'll wait for it till after Christmas when 16 people have returned it, and I'll just go get it for cheaper.
You don't even wait till
No,
after
you just
Christmas.
wait
you
until-
just wait right before Christmas.
That's true.
It'll go on sale.
you just wait until it gets on Games Pass or PlayStation Plus, and you get it for free.
No, that's that too.
I mean, that's how
Thumbs
every
up.
Assassin's Creed game is. Like, it'll come out early in the year, and it's like, cool, around Black Fridays when I get it, when it's like $20 now.
And then we got another look at Deathloop. So apparently it's a prison that you're in that's stuck in this time loop. And
So is the prison the loop, or is the prison stuck in a loop?
the loop is
We
the
don't
prison.
know.
Yeah, like it's the whole thing was like, who created this? Why are you here? Like you're trying to figure all that out. You have 24 hours to kill these 8 visionaries, and you also have like an assassin that's trying to kill you. And kind of how we discussed before, like every time you die, it restarts the loop.
I've seen this movie. There's
Live,
a movie
die,
out.
repeat.
No, there's a movie out. I can't remember what the fucking movie's called, but the premise is basically like this woman's like making a brain altering drug that slows time or gives you like some different weird experiences.
Dread? That was one of the drugs in the Dread reboot.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you take it like slowed your perception to like a millisecond.
Well, she basically the guy who's like trying to get the drug to be used wants to use it for like prison time, so that like drop it in your eyeball.
Oh fuck, that's on. Oh no, I know what you're talking about. I think that was actually was that a Black Mirror episode?
I don't know. I don't think.
No,
so.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and it was amazing.
But basically, she's stuck in the loop for like 100 days, and then in 100 days, it's like a minute or so in real life, but she's stuck in there, and then
God, what was that?
Clicks back past 100 days, like the program failed or something, so she's stuck in it. So she ends up breaking out, and then she's like feels like she's not in the program anymore, and she's like trying to run away and do all this other crazy shit, and then basically somehow figures out she's still in the program, and then wakes up out of the program.
Yeah.
And then basically they're like, "Oh shit, you're up," and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you," and then like it like does some weird shit. But yeah, like I can't remember what the.
That definitely sounds like it'd be some Black Mirror shit.
Oh no, it was so good. I watched that movie. It was amazing, honestly. God, I can't remember the name of it either.
Because literally, she's stuck in a prison cell that's like just a small room, and there's just a screen in front of her counting the days around.
Oh, it's super freaky but amazing. Honestly, it was so good.
It was a good movie.
Because it's supposed to be like you're supposed to be able to like do you use it to like take a vacation basically? Because you can program the basically the drop they give you whatever.
Yeah.
That you can program it to do whatever you want it to do. Like so she uses it to most of the time she uses it like to really live the last day that she had with her brother before he died.
Yeah, and she was trying to like see if like something would change in the program to make her brother stay alive or something like that. So she would try different things to save her brother. That was her way of going about it. But the other thing that she was doing to make the drug like viable was to make like vacation time. So what your idea was to take a break at work or at lunch and then drop a little bead in your eyeball, and then you go on a snowboarding vacation for your hour, and then you'd wake up and go do something else because you'd experience cold and all the other stuff in your mind because it would transfer that out. And so the director of that program basically wanted to use it for prison time, and then they used it on her because she was manipulating the drug to see her brother. So that was a way to get her to take a sentence and be a test subject. God, I gotta figure out the movie. But yeah, keep going. Sorry,
So,
it was just a crazy trope.
And
Yeah,
that basically is like the same.
it seems like the exact same thing.
And so then PlayStation and Radiohead apparently teamed up because Radiohead is doing a re-release of Kid A and Amnesia, and so they're gonna do like a digital exhibition with PlayStation. Then we got a look at this game called Chia. I don't
know how to say it, but it looks pretty adorable.
Yeah, so you play as like this little, like a little girl basically, and you can possess animals and people and explore, and the music sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So that looked kind of cute. And then they're remastering Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy for PS5 and PC. And then, all right, so the next bunch of games we're about to talk about are all going to be PlayStation exclusives. The first thing we got right out the gate is they bring in the Marvel logo and Insomniac, and I was like, oh shit, we're getting the trailer for Spider-Man 2. It was not Spider-Man 2.
No.
It was Wolverine.
Oh, that actually, I mean, it's not much. There's not much there, but it looked interesting.
Yeah, it's basically coming in on this like dude in a plaid shirt and a cowboy hat sitting at the bar. There's all these like dudes knocked out around him.
They're not knocked out.
And then the one guy like gets up and it like zooms in on his bloody knuckles and then shinked.
Snicked.
Like,
Snicked.
oh shit!
Snicked.
Snicked. So we're getting Wolverine.
I'm probably gonna get the game. I will say Wolverine is kind of reaching that point to me that the Joker is, where it's like, I used to like this character. I'm seeing a little too much of this character.
Like oversaturation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, stop it. There's other cool characters.
And then we got Gran Turismo 7. No surprise. New console. Time for a new Gran Turismo. The cars look very pretty. You can play Pokemon Photo Snap with it. Take pictures of your cars. Yay.
I think it's called Other Life.
And then we did get the trailer for Spider-Man 2.
Yes, we did. Peter told me this earlier, and I think he's correct. They really missed an opportunity with the title.
Yeah, why didn't you call it Spider-Man?
Because it's Spider-Man 2.
Okay, why didn't they call it Spider-Man 2, T-O-O?
Yeah.
It was that way.
Okay, so this has got, it's advertised as a single player campaign. Yeah. So you'll probably get to switch between Peter and Miles, because they're both going to be very prominent in this game. And then we also got a look at the main villain. It's going to be Venom, voiced by Tony Todd himself. It's the Candyman.
See, I mentioned this
Candyman?
Earlier too.
Horror movie?
I've never seen it.
It's a big horror.
I kind of hope they don't do it where you switch back and forth between Peter at will, and instead have you mostly playing as Peter for the first half, then Peter gets taken over by the Venom symbiote, and you have to play as Miles to stop him.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
See, I'm the opposite of that. I think I'd prefer to be able to switch between the two of them at will in order to complete as many tasks you need to do for whatever it is, or whatever fighting style you'd like to be, whatever villain or what person you're playing at that time. You're like, well, it'd be a lot easier if I could electrocute this guy or turn invisible. All right.
I think at that point you would just always pick Miles. At least if he plays like he does in his own game, he is pretty broken. They really, you do kind of lose any challenge in the Miles game pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, because he's awesome.
It's mostly because of that like lightning explosion you can do that'll take out any enemy within like a massive area. Yeah.
And that's 2023.
2023?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
At least I gave it a date.
Yeah.
Again, 2-3 years. Give me a date. Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
They could always get it done faster.
Yeah, they could.
They won't.
They won't. That's called murder.
And then
That's not how you spell Atreus.
That's fine. And then the showstopper of the night, we got our look at God of War Ragnarok.
Ragnarok? Does that mean there's going to be Norse people in it? Yeah, sorry.
They were already in Norse.
I know.
Okay.
I'm well aware.
Okay. Going back to my...
Norse people.
So,
Ragnarok?
They've aged Atreus
Does that mean there's
up.
Norse people?
So some time has passed. Atreus is now a teenager.
Or at the very least a preteen.
This would be God of War 4 as well? 5.
Technically like 12, but 5.
The 5 of the main games, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be the finale of the Norse saga. So we are going to get Thor and Odin, and we get a look at Tyr.
And Angrboda. Yeah.
So Kratos gets to murder all of them, correct?
He probably isn't going to kill Angrboda. That's probably going to be his son's
Well, it doesn't
girlfriend.
look like he kills Tyr either, because in the trailer, it looks like they're actually doing a team up.
Yeah.
And it's actually also unclear whether him and Thor are going to be on the same side, because the shot we got was just of Thor's back holding Mjolnir like down at his side.
Because in the trailer itself, you saw him, a lightning bolt drop in, and then he goes to attack Kratos.
Yeah, no, they're definitely fighting in this movie.
Yeah.
In this game.
I think the statement is more of they might fight. We don't know if he's going to be a straight antagonist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to fight, though.
The line he comes in with is, "You look like a reasonably calm man."
Yeah.
So, I would like them to fight and then do the whole, it would be the normal Thor thing is like, once Kratos is like, I'm about to chop your head off, Thor's like, all right, no, we're cool. All right, you're a cool dude. I kind of like
and
you.
this isn't, we also did, not in the trailer, but they did also release a still of the Thor we're getting. He's kind of like a big, burly, kind of overweight dude with straight red beard, red hair.
Yeah, because he's based on the actual Norse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Deadbot Thor.
Though he should be short. Like, Thor is pretty short.
Generally, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's big and like burly, but he didn't really give us a height.
That's fair.
Because it was just the still of him.
Yeah, I guess you don't have a actual height comparison.
Right.
Tyr is going to be, he's a giant.
That's big guy.
Yeah,
That's
he's a big dude.
Giant.
He might be a frost giant.
They said
and
the
so,
person's like, that's not like that. That's just the name of the species. We're not. big.
I know.
Yeah, so that they have got to go on this adventure because one, Atreus wants to know about his history. He wants to know about being Loki. And then they're also, I don't know if they're going to cause Ragnarok or...
Oh, they already did.
They already started it.
Yeah, by killing Balder.
That was in the last game, right?
The death of Balder is the inciting incident of Ragnarok.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
In Norse mythology, at least. Yeah. Not in Marvel Norse mythology, but, you know.
Or at least it's one of the inciting incidents. Typically, the main one is the death of Odin by Fenrir, but yeah.
Yeah.
And it's TYR. I said it was wrong, but it's like that's You wrote it like a tier list.
Tier.
Whatever.
She's just gonna say it. They can't see that. You guys don't have to call it out every time.
Pointed that out too.
I did it too.
Cowboy Beboop.
Beboop. Bebob. Actually, I believe it was Cowboy Bebob.
Bebob.
No, I wrote. Never mind. So that was the PlayStation showcase.
There's a lot of stuff on there, at least.
Yeah.
Again, I guess maybe I'm just angry because I want a date. I'm like, why didn't you give me a date for Coder? I just want to know.
I enjoyed it for the most part. The only thing that really annoyed me was like, God, stop fucking making Gran Turismo so like grandiose. Just like, hey, here's another one, and move on.
Hey, in their defense, it does look really good.
Yeah.
But they haven't really. It's just like the Madden games. It's just like those.
Exactly.
They haven't really changed that much, and except to go, oh, we took a couple cars out. I'm like, why are you taking any of them out? You should only be adding.
So
it doesn't matter.
Pay for them later.
But that's what I'm saying. But it doesn't matter. If every single car that was in GT6, Gran Turismo 6, should be in Gran Turismo 7, and they should add 20% more.
Absolutely.
Every car that's come out since that game has happened, you should be able to play that one too.
Yeah. It's
Take a quick break.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that was.
It was me breaking something.
Yeah. But Gran
Y'all keep
Turismo
going.
is just...
Yeah.
It's a great game, honestly. If you like a racing game, it's a fucking fantastic racing game.
It is like...
I like it better than
You were
Forza.
saying it's like Madden, they just keep re-releasing. It's like, then stop giving so much attention to it.
Yeah,
we know what it's going to be. More racing.
Yeah, but you get great customization.
You know, I'll be happy to see a trailer for a Gran Turismo if it suddenly turns into like Mad Max halfway through. It's like, hey, here's your regular racing shit, but see that sunroof? It's about to be a missile launcher.
Now, honestly, 100% on board with that.
Right?
That'd probably be a Forza game, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
They'd probably do
no.
that with Forza
They would do
instead.
that with Forza first.
They did let you drive a Warthog around in Forza at one point in time, which
Oh,
was
I loved
fantastic.
it.
It's really sad the chain gun didn't work on the
No,
back.
I
You
am
got
glad
to
that
see
they
it.
changed like the driver model to Master Chief too and everything.
No, it was legit. No, it was 100%. And I'll give them like the Gran Turismo, like they put the DeLorean in there, but you know what they shouldn't put in there? The DeLorean.
The one.
The time machine DeLorean.
Yeah, you could even have that be in effect when you reach that speed. Just like temporarily turn it into like the 60s and then go back to modern day.
No, honestly, I would just like if you hit 88, like if you keep, like, it has to be something like if you keep it at 88, because you can obviously go fast. But honestly, well, not in a DeLorean. It's really hard to go 88. But if you actually hit 88, I want just like streaks of fire to come out from behind the thing. And you're like, all right, that's enough.
That's all I needed.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to, hey, check this out. Peter, you're up first.
It's just a web series that I really enjoy that I think should get all the attention. It's called Hell of a Boss. It's really funny, and there's a link in the description. Y'all should check it out.
Animated?
Animated.
Okay.
Tom?
Oh, yeah. Mine's just another YouTube video. I'm not that interesting. But it's by Joel Haver, and he's doing free association. Don't know if you ever heard of that, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Like where you say one word and you say the first word that comes to your head.
kind of just like go about it. But he takes it another route.
Okay. All right. I'll be intrigued. To see that.
Zach?
I saw something really cool. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up buying it. But it is a specifically for IKEA furniture. I can't remember the actual name of the it's the weird square bookshelves that you use with the IKEA furniture.
The cubes?
Yeah, the cube organizer ones. But it is a organization system for your board games. And I know that we have a lot of board games here at our house.
Probably too many, arguably too many, but we played them all, so I don't really have a problem with it. So it's a really neat system. It has a lot of different ways that you can do it. We got the link on there. It's just kind of a fun way that you can actually organize and keep all of your board games so that you can actually access them a lot easier than you normally would be able to. And it keeps all your parts from falling out of your boxes.
All right, Peter, you pulled one from the community this week.
Yeah, it's clearly a very old image, but it is Jeff Goldblum basically talking about raiding Area 51. Put that up like right here if you want.
It's an old image, but it's still a good one.
Right.
So good.
And thank you for the community for posting that.
Yeah.
We do appreciate y'all.
It was helpful.
Yeah, if you would like to send us a hey, check this out, all you gotta do is subscribe to us on patreon.com/8bitcats, where you'll get access to our Discord, and then we might pull one of yours to mention. And then for me, so last week we got the video from Steve from Blue's Clues.
I was going to use this one, but
yeah.
I saw that you had it.
It was like you picked the easiest one.
Well, for the 25th anniversary, so the link that I'm going to post isn't just to that video specific, but they actually did a whole series of these videos, also with the two other guys that, like...
Steve and Joe and I don't remember the new guy. I think it's like Neil or some bullshit like that.
Neil.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's just like a whole, like, one of the ones they do is like a keeper pass. So like one of his like toupees, and since Steve doesn't have hair anymore, he's like, okay, I don't want to say anything with hair, I'm good. And then there's like one where they sing a song about like it being the 25th anniversary and like how special it all is, and it's just very heartwarming, and I really enjoyed it. And heart to Blue's Clues.
I will say my favorite one that they did was they all sat there and reacted to
their
first episodes. And they're all just ridiculous. It's insane. It's quite funny.
I had a sneeze coming. It's like I need to.
I thought you were gonna cry. It's not that cool.
My favorite is the meme of it saying, what's his fucking face? God damn it. Steve is like saying Steve now, and it's him saying, "Hey, you're really great," and then it says Steve then, and it's just Steve going as he's leaving the show.
That's not included in my link, because this link will literally take you to the Nick Jr. Facebook.
Nick Jr., yes. It's for kids.
Yeah.
This is not.
This isn't Nick at Night.
This is more Nick at Night,
if you are following along with us on Clouder Club, next week we will be talking Lower Deck Season 1, episodes 5 through 7.
5 through 7? Are we not doing 5 through 8?
Yeah, that's only 3 episodes.
I'm aware. I did it on purpose.
Okay.
She just can't fucking deal with it anymore.
Don't worry, guys. I had a plan. It's okay.
Okay, there's a plan. We were not privy to it.
We were not privy to this.
They're never privy to my plan.
We don't know the plan.
I gotta say, if you keep not telling us plans, we're gonna keep not doing the shit we're supposed to do.
So I just want to let y'all know that I sent them out a schedule of what we were going to be watching when, and then I also send them the show notes out like 3 days before we film, so they like know what's going on. If they choose not to look at it, that's on them.
There's a schedule?
Yeah, if you go to the producer notes on Discord, you will see that I sent that out. Yep.
Yeah,
I did that.
It's a joke.
Though, isn't that actually wrong? Because we had changed around when we were going to be doing Lower Deck, so it actually needs to be updated.
And I believe
It is updated.
Because I was kind of ready for Lower Decks.
It is updated.
we also
when we were supposed to do it last week.
We've also filmed a bunch of infomercials for the show, so be on the lookout for those. And with that, until next time, it's okay to be a graphic snob, and you play what makes you happy.